Hello, my dear students. Good morning to you all. Today, I am going to teach you class 11 second lesson. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together. This lesson is written by Gordon Cook and Ellen East. So, before to study detail this lesson, let us know its theme. Actually, we are not afraid to die is a first person account of an adventurous order. That is a family experiences. On July 1976, the narrator, Gordon Cook, set sail from England. He wanted to duplicate the round the world voyage made 200 years earlier by Captain Cook. On journey means when the journey started. In the meanwhile, on January 2, huge waves shook the deck and broke over the sea. It was a great destruction. They had survived for 15 hours, but it was quite difficult to reach Australia. At about 6 p.m. on January 6, they anchored offshore a teeny island where all the 28 inhabitants came to children. It was July 1976. The narrator, his wife, that name is Mary, his son Jonathan, who is 6 years old, and daughter Susan, who is 7 years old. They set sail from Plymouth, England. They wanted to duplicate the round the world voyage made 200 years earlier by James Cook. For the last 16 years, they had spent all their leisure time in sharpening their seafaring skill. Their boat, Walker, had been professionally viewed. It had been tested in the roughest weather for months. The first leg of their planet, 3 years, 105,000 kilometer journey passed pleasantly without any difficulty. They took two crewmen, American Larry Vigil and Swiss Hapsager. They were to help them tackle on the roughest sea, the Southern Indian Ocean. They sailed down the west coast of Africa to Cape Town. They were heading towards east. For the next few weeks, they encountered strong gales. They blew continuously. The size of the wave was alarming. Yes, they went up to 15 meters, as high as their main waist, the mast. They celebrated the Christmas in spite of rough weather. The weather continued to be bad even on the New Year's Day. On January 2nd, point out the date, January 2nd, The waves were really huge. The endless big waves came rolling towards them. The wind simply screamed. To slow the boat down, they dropped the stern jib. They tied heavy ropes across the stern. They attached lifeline, put eel skins and life jacket. The first sign of the coming disaster came about 6 p.m. Point out the time. The wind dropped at that time. The sky grew dark. The sky grew dark. Then came a growing roar that changed into a thunder. A tremendous explosion took place. It shook the deck. A wall of green and white water broke over the sea. The narrator said, crushed into the wind, he accepted his approaching death. Means he was more and more sure that he would die. He was losing consciousness, but felt quite peaceful. His head popped out of water a few meters away. Wave walker was near, capsizing waves tossed him round the deck like a rag doll. His left ribs cracked. His mouth was filled with blood and broken teeth. Suddenly the front door was thrown open and his wife Mary appeared. She tried to do something. Before it, she cried, "We are sinking, we are sinking." Larry and Herbs were pumping like madmen. Clothes, crockery, jars, tins, and toys lay scattered in deep water. He crawled into the children's cabin. They were safe. Only Sue had a big bump above her eyes. At that time, the narrator had no time for bumping. And by the morning, on January 3, the pumps kept the water level quite under control. They could take rest for 2 hours in rotation. But there was still a big leak below the water line. The boat reef's frames were smashed. They had survived for 15 hours since the waves hit them. But wave walker could not hold together long enough for them to reach Australia. And that's why now the narrator checked their chart, what they had. He calculated that there were 2 small islands a few hundred kilometers to the east. One of them, MS Dam, was a French scientific base. Their only aim was to reach there, as it was a very, very difficult time. So, however, the Great Wave had put an auxiliary engine out of action. On January 4th, the water level could be contained, but they couldn't set any sail on the main moss, ship of the moss. So, however, they hoisted the storm jeep and headed for two islands. They ate their first meal in almost 2 days, but their respite was short-lived. At 4 p.m., clouds were building up behind them. Within hours, the wind was back 40 knots. The seas were getting higher. The weather remained rough throughout the night. By dawn on January 5, yes, point out the time and date. January 5, the situation remained desperate. The narrator had now time. He went to the comfort the children. At that time, John asked, "Daddy, are we going to die?" Hearing this, his father tried to assure him that they would make it. John went on, "We are not afraid of dying if we can all be together." That's why this lesson name is "We are not afraid of dying if we all be together." The narrator was speechless hearing his son's statement. That evening, Mary and he sat together, holding hands. The both felt their end was near, means they will not be able to save their life. When Walker rode out the storm, the wind had east by the morning of January 6. The narrator rechecked his own calculations. They were somewhere in 1,05,000 kilometers of ocean looking for 65 kilometers wide island. If they were lucky, they could expect to see the island at about 5 p.m. When he woke up, it was 6 p.m. and growing dark. He knew they must have missed the island. But his son Jonathan seemed quite excited and happy. Why he was happy? He wanted to hug his father. Why? They were safe now. He asked his father if he could hug him. She was right behind. When the narrator asked him why, he told him that he was the best daddy in the whole world and the best captain. He cried that they had found the island. The narrator rushed to the deck and saw Amsterdam before his own eyes. They anchored offshore for the night. The next morning, all 28 inhabitants the island came to cheer them. That's why this lesson finished.